Hello everyone and welcome back to Fairy Tale Family. This is Brittany here to talk to you about our wins and fails of our May Walt Disney World vacation. Now, we went to Disney in May with Henry for the first time since he was a little baby and since COVID had hit. So this was kind of a first pass yet again for us traveling with our son. And there were some definite wins and some definite fails we wanted to share with you guys. So the first part I want to talk about is the traveling piece of it. So traveling with Henry to the airport, getting him on the plane and traveling with him on the plane and everything we carried with us. So some wins for us with Henry was the Stay Park and Fly in Manchester was actually fantastic. So we've done the Stay Park and Fly in Boston many times and have enjoyed it thoroughly. This was our first time doing it out of Manchester and we were really impressed with the shuttle service. The shuttle was there first thing in the morning, helped us with our luggage, dropped us off right near the gate, and then when they picked us up, they didn't wait for us to call them. They actually checked our flight and were there waiting when we got off the plane. So it was really easy just to find the cab or find the transport, hop right in and head back to our car. Definitely a win. Would recommend the Stay Park and Fly from Fairfield at Marriott in Manchester to anyone. Another thing that was a big win was having a car seat on the plane for Henry. Henry is a kid, he's a toddler that does not want to sit still unless he's in his car seat. So we really wanted to test this out with him for the first pass and it worked out really well. He sat there, he enjoyed himself. The only thing that we had difficulty with was getting the seat set up backwards. There really wasn't a lot of room on the plane for him to sit backwards. It worked out fine going down. On the way back, we did face him forward, which was a bit more comfortable for him and the people around him, but he didn't seem to enjoy it as much. So we're going to try to acclimate him to sitting frontward in his car seat before we go to Disney again, which, he's getting to that time of age anyways. The other thing that worked out really well was the activity bag that we brought. That was Henry's Cars bag. It had all his cars, coloring, snacks, total win. Would recommend for parents to have their kids bring their own activity bag on the plane. He got really excited with it. He knew exactly what was in it, and it really helped us out when we were trying to keep him occupied. The other thing that was really a win, more so in the parks than traveling, but the big stroller kit we got, you can purchase these at Disney, online at Amazon. We'll have all the links down below, but it was a great way. It was great to be, we had many bags going through the airport and also through the park, so it was great to have that extra storage. That was a big win, was the sippy cup and snack bowl straps to keep his snacks and his cups attached to him on the plane and in his stroller, so that if he had a fit and he threw something, we didn't lose it completely. The other thing we did, which we weren't too crazy about because it was yet another thing we had to travel with, was our personal pack and play. When we went in May, Henry was still sleeping in a crib, and we weren't guaranteed a pack and play at either the Art of Animation or at the Boardwalk Resort. So we had to bring our own just to be safe, and I'm really happy we did. He slept really well in it. He didn't put up much of a fuss in the hotel before we flew out or at any Disney hotels when going to sleep. So I think it was great for us to bring the pack and play that he was familiar with. Biggest fail that we had in traveling was that car seat suitcase strap, which actually was supposed to strap the car seat to the suitcase when we were rolling through. It didn't do that at all. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. It really didn't work for us. Moving on to Disney transportation wins and fails for this trip. Henry's favorite thing to ride for first thing on the wins was the Skyliner when we were staying at Art of Animation. He absolutely loved riding it. He actually fell asleep a couple of times. And he really enjoyed being up high where he could see everything, and I think the sound of it too was really relaxing for him. He also enjoyed the boat and the monorail, which we knew that he liked from our previous trips there, but it was definitely yet another favorite with him. The other thing that we tried out was Mears Taxi, and this was because the Disney buses and the Magical Express was a complete fail. So the Disney buses, when we were, staying at Boardwalk and took the Disney buses to Animal Kingdom and Magic Kingdom, they were completely packed. It was really hard for us to get him to sit down on the bus because he would get really fussy and nervous with all the people around. So taking Amir's taxi was just easier, was a lot more relaxing for us. Also, the Disney Express going to our hotel was great, but coming home, it was really a disaster. They picked us up way too early, and there were 5 stops before we got to the airport, and Henry was quite cranky, so it was not a good experience coming back. I'm actually excited they're getting rid of it, and I think for Greg and I, we're just going to end up renting a car going forward. Next up is basically our meals, our Disney foods. What did we love? What was not a good experience? So for wins on that one, the Garden Grill was a huge win. We enjoyed it so much. You know, that was one of the ones that we had never really stayed at before. Henry loved the food. He loved the characters. I was so surprised about the amount that he ate, and the service was just fantastic. They were really nice. They made sure that Henry kept getting entertained by the characters, and the whole meal was just super relaxing and enjoyable for the 3 of us to have. Another one was the Rainforest Cafe. We had a great lunch here, a really early lunch. Due to Henry's schedule, we kind of had to have it early, and it was great. He loved the atmosphere, and they actually use kids' plates and silverware. Again, huge win that we didn't have to bring our own, that they had that there for him. The other thing that we really liked was the mobile order for quick service. It made it super easy for us to order ahead down at the Boardwalk Bakery or any quick service location, and then just go down and pick up our food. Some of the biggest fails, Hollywood and Vine was a huge fail for us. The food Greg's food wasn't fantastic, mine was really good, but the character interaction just wasn't as fun as Garden Grill. I'm not sure why, but it just, I don't know, it wasn't as immersive, and he didn't really enjoy it. He would try to get their attention, and they weren't paying attention to him, so it was a bit frustrating for him. Also, the service at Hollywood and Vine, again, it wasn't fantastic. The biggest fail for food the whole trip was Be Our Guest, and I'm sorry to say that because we absolutely love this restaurant. We got there, our reservation was at 6:30, we didn't get seated till almost 8 o'clock. And then the service was just really slow and bad, and Henry was cranky because it was so late. And they put us in the West Wing, which is dark and loud and scary, and with Henry, it just was not a good mix. I'm not going to say we're never going to go there again because we do really love the food, and the service was so nice that they actually, at the end of it, they felt really bad, and they boxed up all of our food and sent us home with desserts and everything that we prepaid for. But just the experience was not what we were expecting, as it is one of our most favorite places to eat. One of the biggest things we learned on this trip was Henry's schedule at Disney. We learned that the day after and the day of the travel should really be a chill out date where we try not to do too much. We should really just relax by the pool, maybe go to the parks and get a couple things done. But it shouldn't be a go day. Nap, very important. We learned that a good solid nap on a Disney trip is important. He was exhausted by 11:30, so that nap was super important. Our dinners being early is a must. We really cannot do dinners past 5:30. He is just cranky and tired and just wanting to relax after 5:30. We learned that early morning or nap time flights is the best for him, but the mid-morning that we took back wasn't great. It was almost like he was in between just waking up and going down for a nap, and he couldn't quite decide what he wanted to do with himself. Early morning at the park is perfect, and then right before and after dinner, again, perfect. That midday range where it can get really hot. It was too much for him. It was too much for us. He wanted to be back at the pool, back at the hotel, chilling out, maybe watching a little TV and playing with his toys and having that downtime. So, our next trip, we know early morning, and then, go back to the hotel for a nap and pool time and chilling out. And then right before and after dinner, maybe try to do some more rides. So some of the things we learned, one thing I wanted to know is that we do wish we had more time at Art of Animation. That ended up being a resort that he really, really enjoyed. I would say that if we go back there and we can't stay at a DVC resort, staying at Art of Animation with him is a great option. He loved just walking around, seeing all of like the characters, and the splash pad there was so much fun with him, and it was a great time. Also, bubble wands, a lifesaver. Bubble wands are amazing. I never thought that I would be a parent that would insist on buying a bubble wand in Disney, but the moment I saw him looking at other kids and he was just a little sad, not that he was saying that he wanted it or he was throwing a fit, but he was, a little sad, and so I picked him up one and he was ecstatic. He was so happy. It was a great thing to take out during the trip if we started to get a little cranky. It kept him super happy and super entertained, so bubble wands are a lifesaver. And don't feel like you have to buy one at Disney. You can always buy them on Amazon and bring them down with you guys. It's a lot cheaper, but definitely a must-have for kids. So this is everything we learned from our May Walt Disney World vacation, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video and all of our trip vlogs, but please make sure to come back, like, and subscribe. We are going to have a lot more Disney content coming this year and next year. Have a magical day, guys.